All right, guys, very beautiful morning right here. And guess what we'll be doing? It's a very important morning on our farm this morning. Can you guess what we'll be doing? Well, we want to mix our pig feed. We'll be mixing the pig feed for our. I wouldn't say they are above. They are above the grass stage. In short, they are moving towards the moment for breeding and the likes. So we'll be changing, we'll be tweaking our formulation a bit, because you need to understand that when you are when you weaned your pig, the feed you feed them is a creep feed, which is supposed to be extremely high in protein. And then after you are done with the protein diet, the creep feed, after like a month, you want to change the feed for the grass, the grass feed, which will also still be rich in protein, but obviously you can add many other feed resources in your formula. One of the main things you need to understand is, I told you this already, generally pigs enjoy a very delicious diet. If you have the money, the capacity to give them the maize and soya beans, they would enjoy that from beginning to the end. They will get so big, so fat. But one of the things we have to compete with is the rising cost of feed, and also the economic situation, not just in our side over here, but literally around the world. So, and you still have to stay in business. So we have to be resourceful, and in being resourceful is why we find a way to tweak their feed formula, which obviously will still give us a desired result. So we'll be tweaking the formula we used, we probably prescribed. We'll be tweaking it a bit, and I'll be showing you the whole process. I'm mixing it right here. All right, stay tuned, guys. All right, guys. This is the not actually 5 bags, but 5 bags, but 4 components that I'll be using for this particular feed mixture. And this is just it's not for all the pigs, just for some of them. So these are the 5 different feed resources I'll be using to mix our over about 240 kg feed formula. All right, so we'll be mixing on the floor here. This is one of the things you need to understand, that for you to mix your feed, you want to look for a very clean floor. I'm actually this place is cleaned up, so we'll be pouring the feed, and then later on we'll mix them all to ensure we have a full spread of the entire mixture all over the feed. So we're showing you the process right here. All right, this is the first ingredient we'll be using. Can anyone guess what this is? Can anyone guess this feed? What feed is this? Well, you probably guessed right. That's PKC. PKC plays a key role in our feed formulation in this side of the world, because it's readily available and quite relatively cheap. So even though I would not advise you having this as the only thing you feed to them, it's still a very important feed ingredient you may have to always have on your farm if you're running the pig farm, because it's readily available, you can get it very easily, and then also it's cheap. So of course we always advise you add many other additives to this. So some people have been seeing questions around the brewery spent grain, the brewery waste. So some people are interested in knowing if the brewery waste is something they can use also. The brewery spent grain, that's the waste that comes from the brewery. Well, it's a very important ingredient you could use also, although we don't use it right here, but it's also something you can use, you can lay your hand on. But this is one thing I will warn. This is one morning I will stand on the brewery spent grain, the brewery waste. You see, the brewery waste is mostly from the brewery, as I said already, but if you are able to lay your hand on the fresh one that comes from the brewery, that's very nice. You can easily use that, and that will give you the right result. But this is the issue that comes with the brewery spent grain. Many of the marketers, the people that picks it from the brewery spent grain and later sells as retailers in your area, the way they preserve the brewery spent grain may not be very effective. So most of the time, that feed, the brewery spent grain, may be having molds, or may not be perfectly okay for your animals. And if you're not careful, it could cause harm to your animals. So if I had an opportunity, for instance, now to lay my hand on brewery waste fresh from the source, but we don't really have a brewery around here, or maybe I don't know of any. But if I mean the manufacturers that you'll be able to get the waste from. So imagine there was something like that, where, or a place where we can easily get the fresh one from. There'll be no issue. But getting from all these retailers, you don't know how long it has spent there. The way, most of the time the brewery spent grain is not dried. So putting it in bags and everything may have led to molds and all those other things. And of course, you could do harm to your pigs. But it's an excellent source of feed because it's also very great. And another thing again is that it's no more as cheap as before. Before, it used to be like a waste. We call it brewery waste. Of course, some people call it brewery spent grain. But brewery waste probably came because it just follows the name. It used to be like a waste. But right now, it's not a waste anymore. It's quite expensive. It's quite expensive. So that's my answer for those of you interested in knowing if you can use the brewery spent grain in your feed mixture for your pigs. You can, but make sure you get it from a fresh source. It's more like close to the PKC, so to say. But of course, the PKC is dried, so you don't get to. You can see how beautiful this PKC. Of course, let me quickly tell you this also. There are some PKC that will not be properly done well. So some of the times you may end up seeing molds in your PKC. That's not good, but you can see this one is actually very good. This is a good source of PKC. You can see how beautiful it is, and it doesn't have so much of the kernels or something. You can see this is the right one. This is the industrial PKC. So this is the first ingredient on this mixture. So we'll be bringing to you the second ingredient. Watch out, stay tuned. All right, this is the second ingredient for this feed mixture, over 200 kg feed mixture. Can you guess what this feed mixture is? Can we guess it? What exactly is this? Well, this is the wheat offal. This is the wheat offal, and it's a very important ingredient also for our feed mixture. Excellent in protein. We love it so much, and it's an excellent source of fiber more than protein. So this is not the main source of protein. I'll be bringing that to you very soon. This is not the main source of protein for our feed mixture, but it also has protein. It also has protein. The PKC, we dropped 150 kg of PKC. 150 kg of PKC. You can see right now that the wheat offal has covered the entire PKC. This wheat offal is 50 kg. This is 50 kg wheat offal. 50 kg wheat offal. So this is very beautiful, very wonderful. You can see all these ingredients are very good. We're not having molds or anything. They are excellent. So we make sure we get excellent source of ingredients. That's one thing you need to check out for. You don't just get from anyone. Some people may not preserve their ingredient properly. You don't want molds to be on your ingredient. So this is the second ingredient: 150 kg PKC, 50 kg wheat offal. All right, let me bring to you the next ingredient. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Lots of great value on this content, and you'll understand why and how you should feed, being able to economize your feed and ensure you get the desired result for your pig farm. That's what we're doing right here. Yikes, we're almost there. Can you notice the difference? I hope you can notice that something has come on this feed. I don't know if you can notice it, but you can notice this is different from the wheat offal. Let me show you this side. Probably you'll be able to see it better. This is the wheat offal right here. This is the added ingredient. You can notice that. So what we've added is the chicken feed. That's the chicken feed right there, and that's our source of protein. So we'll put in the chicken feed to help spice up this formula with excellent protein, because we already know that the people that manufactured the chicken feed, actually the chicken feed we use is the broiler starter. We use the broiler starter because for you to raise broilers at the initial stage, you need to give them excellent protein. So we make use of that. I discussed about the use of resourcefulness So you don't want to be too rigid with getting soya, getting maize, getting GNC and all the likes. Of course, some of you are lucky to be close to areas where you have feed mills. The feed mill that was around this area has closed up. She opened and she closed up. I don't know why. Probably she had issues with the people. I don't know anything about why she closed up. I can't say. I've been trying to call her at some point, but I don't know if she has started or if she's going to restart. But some of you are lucky to have all these things, but to get some of all those things, it will take you, even transporting them to your area will really cost you so much. So if I'm not having around my area to transport those ingredients down here, that costs me so much. Instead of doing all those things, I just find a way to get the chicken feed. Of course, in the chicken feed we have the soya, we have the maize. So we use the chicken feed and we use 25 kg of our chicken feed to spice up. These are our feed formula. So, and again, I told you already, this is not for winners. I think I've already released a video on making a creep feed. When you are having a creep feed, you cannot feed this to your winners. That's not great at all. That's not excellent. You don't want to do that. You want to ensure you give them the best protein. So this one is mostly for the ones that are even a bit above the grower state. So they are a bit above the grower state, more like and moving towards the finisher state. So when you're feeding them these ones, this is still okay. This is still very much okay. And I've told you already, in business you want to economize everything. The main thing is to make more profit. I'll be releasing a video very, very soon. You will understand how much profit we made by using our feed formula and by the proper farm management we've been ensuring. And I'll give you the profit we made on selling our animals, so you understand what I'm saying here. So what you want is not to be fanciful, it's not to be whatever. You want to make sure you are able to get the right result, and the right result means that your cost price must be lower than your selling price. So feeding my finisher pigs with this is still very much okay, because I can still because I want you to know that the marketers, the people, the buyers are not going to buy beyond what the market is saying. So if you feed your pigs with so much expensive ingredient and the buyers come and tell you they can't buy that pig. By the way, I had an experience with a buyer, and the buyer, let me share this with you quickly, because of we actually changed. This is not the broiler starter we used to use before. The one we use for the winner is quite very, very nutritious, and so a buyer actually complained because the animals got very robust, and they complained of it being too fat or something like that. So when they got one of our when they got they bought something they bought from us. So in short, the point is you don't want to make your cost price too expensive, because if you make it too expensive, these guys, the laws of demand and supply will still play a key role in your business. So they can't buy above. It's just like, for instance, the boer goat. I'm not sure if you know about the boer goat. If you bring the boer goat right here to this side of the world, you can't sell a boer goat to the market for 1 million. Nobody will get it from you. So if you are rearing a boer goat in this side in West Africa, you are rearing it just to improve your genetics. You can't rear a boer goat to sell to the market. Nobody will get from you. Who wants to buy a goat for 1 million? Maybe for breeding, but not for market. So you need to consider the market demand also, and how much is the ranging price of what they are going to demand for. That will ensure you also know how to station your business. So this is one of the wisdom to do. You don't want to be too focused on the soya and the maize, which they are very expensive. They will increase your cost price, and in the end, the marketer, of course, one of the advantages of that sometimes is that they hasten your market. That means if you're able to do that well, I would not advise against soya and maize, by the way, because if you're really able to do it well and release maybe instead of releasing at 6 months, you're able to release at 4 months. Yes, that's very good. Of course, you'll be able to cut down the cost of 2 months. But if you're going to rear and still be willing to, most of the time you may be sorry. So be very careful. That you need to know that the law of demand and supply will still play a key role. And if you're even doing that, the number of animals you have will need to be very careful of it. Because if you have too many animals, like 100 animals, you may not get people to pick the entire 100 animals at once at that price. But again, all these things are something you need to just apply wisdom on. I'm not saying you should not use the soya and maize. I would love to do that also, but this is what we do right here on our farm. We do this to ensure that we are able to balance business. We are able to balance our checkbooks. So we want to, we would have advised you use 2 bags of PKC before, but we're using 3 bags right here. We're increasing that, so this feed formula can take us for a longer while. Now the last feed, the feed resource we'll be using here, stay tuned for it. We'll be putting that right here very soon. All right, stay tuned. What is this? All right, you guessed right. If probably some of you guessed right, this is, wow, what is this? Is this Indomie? Is this what? Well, this is bread waste. This is bread waste. We get this from the bakery, and it's a very, very important source for us right here on the farm. And you can see how wonderful this is. So this is about between over 10 kg, and let's say they're about 15 kg. So 150 kg PKC, 50 kg with offal, 25 kg chicken feed, and about 15 kg or thereabout. Oh, I should have even just scaled it. I did not scale the bread waste, but a bag should weigh about 15 kg. I should have scaled it. The scale is right there. Anyway, this is the composition of our feed formula. So I will have to pick all these things that came with the bread waste. We get this from the bakery cheaply, and that's one of the things people will need to understand about business. You have to build relationship. If you're going to get it right in business, you have to learn to build a relationship. So we've built a great relationship with somebody at the bakery. So she just calls us and tells us, oh, we have ready, and we'll pay for it very cheaply. This is probably the cheapest ingredient right here, and very, very important. It's very cheap. We get it very cheap. So these are some of the things you need to be resourceful and find a way to make it happen. Make sure it happens. So don't give complaints. Make sure it happens. So what we're doing next is mixing all this together. Not a pretty job. It's not going to be very easy, but we're going to mix all this together. It's going to take a while. Then we're going to show you the end result, and then we're going to bag it all, and voila, that's it. We're good to go. The pigs are ready to eat. So all right, let me get on to my job. Stay tuned. So we have successfully been able to pick those nylons you could see before. You can see we have picked it, and then it's now time for mixing. That's one of the things you want to do, because some of the times when you get this bread waste, they just sweep the entire bread waste, the people at the bakery. So it comes with some of the bread nylons and papers and some of the like. So you pick them up and make sure those things are free from your feed. Now some of you may be wondering why we don't have some of all these additives, like the what's the name? I've forgotten the name right now. All these premixes and all those things being added to this feed mixture. Well, that's what the chicken feed takes adequate care of. Having the chicken feed in this ingredient settles that the salt, the calcium and everything. The chicken feed handles many of those things. Even the chicken feed we're using actually contains some herbal ingredients. So it's some bioactive and herbal ingredients in it. So that's one of the reasons why we won't be adding the salt and the calcium on this in this right here. But obviously you can, if you intend to add that, you can add that, but that's something you can add if you want to add. All right, so what you can see now is a semi, more like we have mixed halfway. We'll still do one more mixing. The reason for that is we want to ensure that for every 1 kg of food, we have an equal proportion of the entire ingredient in it. So we want to ensure we mix properly. So we've mixed it. This is good, but we want to just be very much perfect. So we'll still do the mixing one more time. So if you have to mix, of course you can mix with engine. Well, there are machines that probably do this, but right here we don't have the engine right now, so we do the hand mixing. So this is the hand mixing in process. So but if you have the money, you can get a mixing machine that will mix all this for you. All right, so this is a near perfect mixture. This is quite fine. We still love this. So the next thing to do right now is to bag our feeds. So our feed formulation is over. We have to bag the feeds now and get them ready for our pigs. So our girls will be feeding on this in preparation for an effective breeding cycle. So thank you very much. We'll be showing you the process of bagging. When we are done bagging, we'll show it to you, and then that will be all for this video. All right, the bagging is done. We're able to come up with this number of bags, and of course I already explained before, the way we're going to be feeding to our pigs. You don't have to always scale your feed. Of course, for the ones we're giving, it's about 2 kg they should take every day. So what you will do is you will look for a container, a sizable container, you weigh it, then that's what you would use to constantly feed your pigs. So instead of you scaling every single time you're feeding them, you just use that container to always give to them. So this feed mixture is just for about 4 different pigs, about 4 of them, mostly the pigs that we want to prepare for, in short, for the production cycle. So this particular feed mixture will take us about, if you do the calculation, 4 pigs 2 kg per day, that's 8 kg per day. 240 divided by 8, that's about 30. So this should last for at least 30 days. They're about 30 days. So anyway, thank you guys. First of all, if this is your first time of joining us, or if you've been here for a while and you've not subscribed, please ensure you click the subscribe button. It's absolutely free, and we're bringing you all this content, and one of the things you can do to support us back is by subscribing, and we'd love to see you in our next video. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a beautiful morning right here, mixing our feeds for our pigs. Thank you very much. Do have a beautiful day. Enjoy, and wish you all the best. Bye bye.